So recently, there's been a bit of a hot topic. They changed all of the game modes to make them shorter. And because it took over quick play, you couldn't opt out of this. And if you didn't like it, their fix was just do a custom game and invite your friends. Which I haven't seen a statement miss the point so hard. People are going to get frustrated because, first of all, they can't opt out of this. And it makes even less sense. They're like, oh, just play a different mode. Because some challenges can be done through some modes. Which this is what I want to highlight on. A lot of Overwatch's challenges are technically wide, but because the type of game Overwatch is, they're really restricting. But let's get into the elephant in the room, the quick play challenges. So, an issue that came up is actually the fact that 3 challenges are tied to quick play, and exactly 2 challenges are tied to quick play role queue. Let's focus on the role queue ones first. We got 2 challenges to worry about here, flex your power and role mastery. So with the flex challenge, the issue is kind of obvious. You can only do it through role queue and flexing. So it really limits the player and what you can actually do to complete this challenge. And then we have role mastery, which you have to do 15 games as 2 different roles. The flex one, if it has to become more nice, it needs to be completely changed. Which to me, just change it to do 20 games. And for the role mastery one, I just think you need to complete a game on a certain hero, on a certain role to get it. Not this weird role queue limit. And then the other quick play challenge, which is do 45 games in quick play. Which I question again, why isn't this just do 45 games in general? Same for the challenge tied to rank, just do 30 games in general. Well, that's just quickly about the quick play challenges, and I guess the ranked one. Another problem we got is change of pace, which has a limit in the other direction. They can only be done through arcade modes. But there's a caveat to that. You can only do it through certain arcade modes. So, in case you didn't know, Total Mayhem just doesn't count. And same goes for the PvE events they had in the game, which were located in the arcade. And I get to a point here where I just kinda question, why do these random things just not count? Because all players know they're following the rules that the challenge says. So in case they don't just want to change this to another generic play games challenge, just make Total Mayhem and the PvE modes count. Because like, who cares about rules like, oh, sorry, you played the PvE mission, so it doesn't count. Like that isn't doing something different from playing quick play. Also, I spoke to some people about this, but another big pain point with stuff like change of pace is the fact each arcade mode isn't really born equally. Which to me a good fix for that is just let people queue for multiple arcade modes. But that's enough of that quickly. I think another pain point that I've noticed in the community is how PvP focused every challenge is. So I've been thinking some of the generic challenges need a PvE way to do them. Since so many challenges anyway are just like heal X amount, damage X amount, etc. And because of change of pace, we know they can do different objectives to a challenge, which I think should be that simple. These general simple challenges, you have an either or option. Deal this X amount of damage in a PvP match, and deal this X amount of higher damage in a PvE mission. Which to me, seems pretty simple as a fix. Also, just in general actually tying some challenges to the PvE missions, it gives people some actual reason to play them. Because right now a big struggle is the fact you don't really get any experience points for playing them, which I've been looking forward to mention this. Randomly, in Season 7, they stopped counting playtime for the PvE missions, which means no matter how much you play of a mission, you only get like 600 XP. Which, what? That's a joke. It doesn't even take into account owning the battle pass or playing with a friend. It just has this weird limit, which it's kind of insane they did this for content you paid for. And there's just been no comment as to why. Which like, I get these missions aren't like a focus, but it's still really insane to just do this randomly. Because like, I guess someone could technically just AFK in one of these missions. But then like, okay, then have a better system for kicking people if they're just AFK. It just seems dumb to punish people for playing this content. But I could go on a huge spiel with this stuff, because we're still macking weirdly some basic features like an all heroes mode. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, just basic challenge support. Which like, to me shouldn't be the most difficult thing to add, because like, archives had all heroes. And then this comes out and it just doesn't, after months. Like that mode should be enough to make people want to replay these missions. Because stuff like Underworld was so cool. You got to play so many cool different heroes, with some neat little remixes of the missions. But then the core missions don't have that, and then you also punish people? Like, come on, that just seems stupid. But let's get into my final spiel. Random progression stuff. So I played this game a good bit, at least enough to beat the battle pass within like 2-3 weeks. And then after that, what I can unlock is titles, which I guess they give me titles like Easy Prey. Exciting! Yeah, currently the titles are kind of a joke. Progression after you hit level 80 just kinda halts, and I just wish that there was something more here. To me, I wish it did more. Like, give me credits every 10 levels, so at least feel like there's something I'm unlocking to then unlock something in Hero Gallery, because then people can actually get something that they want, like a cool skin for a hero they like, instead of a dumb title. Because like, why would I use any of these? I have stuff like Underworld Guardian, which I got by actually doing hard content. And same for anyone that got a high rank. Why would you use any of these dumb titles when you could just use your cool rank title? This is a video I complained a good bit in, but it's just out of frustration that these systems and different things could be so much better. And it just feels like it's being held back for basically no reason. And just frustrating players for basically no reason. But that's it for me for now. Next film I'm gonna make is gonna be less critical and more, look, a map, it has a wall. Anyway, have a good one everyone.